In the world of martial arts, there is such a character. His words are like strong wine, spicy and mellow, with a long aftertaste after drinking it in one gulp. The rivers and lakes, he writes, are not simple swords and swords, but full of the complexity and entanglement of human nature. He is good at using short and powerful sentences to outline vivid characters. The emotions, anger, sorrow, love, and hatred of these characters seem to be happening around us. He is Gulong, a legendary writer who left a mark in the history of martial arts literature. Gulong was born in 1938, and his original name was Shang Yaohua. His life is full of legend. His childhood was not as beautiful as the world he wrote about. His father's betrayal and family breakdown made him experience the warmth and coldness of human relationships and the harshness of the world from an early age. These experiences may be the source of the deep and complex emotional depictions in his later works. As a teenager, Gulong had already shown a strong interest in literature and a unique creative talent. Gulong's literary path was not smooth sailing. In his early years, he was involved in the underworld and participated in fights. These experiences left many scars on his body, but also provided him with rich material for his future creations. Gulong's martial arts creation process can be roughly divided into 4 periods. The period from 1960 to 1964 was a period of exploration. In 1960, he published his first martial arts novel, Sword of the Sky, and entered the martial arts for the first time. At that time, the Three Musketeers were famous in Taiwan's martial arts novel world. Gulong's creation was influenced by them and Jin Young, but he had not yet developed a unique style. But he continued to explore. The Lost Soul Yin, published in 1961, introduced reasoning structure methods and techniques, and the layout was strange, creating a precedent for reasoning martial arts. The Huanhua Shijianwu in 1964 was a breakthrough. It was not limited to the description of martial arts moves, but explained the true meaning of martial arts. No move can defeat the enemy, which heralded the emergence of a new martial arts style. The period from 1965 to 1967 was the mature period. The 1965 The Legend of the Flag Hero marked the maturity of Gulong's martial arts novels. Subsequent works, such as A History of the Martial Arts, Famous Swordsman, Peerless to Prides, and Legend of Iron Blood, gradually formed his unique style. The 1967 Peerless to Heroes has a grand scene, rigorous structure, exquisite layout, and the character creation is of great artistic value. Although it still imitates Jin Young, it has shown the unique charm of Gulong. In 1972, after Jin Young closed the book, he personally asked Gulong to write a manuscript and gave the Page of Ming Pao to Gulong. This was a high recognition of Gulong's martial arts novels. During this period, Gulong created another martial arts legend by creating the passionate swordsman's flying knife skill, Zili's flying dagger. Every example is true. The period from 1974 to 1985 was a period of decline. The number of works decreased, the artistic level declined, and some works were continued by ghostwriters. In 1974, End of the World Mingyu, and the knife was cut in half after being serialized for 45 issues in China Times. This was a major setback for Gulong. The Falcon Gambling, published in 1984, was his last work, announcing the end of his martial arts career. Gulong's emotional life is equally colorful. His first lover was the dancer Zheng Lili. The two lived together and had a son. However, Zheng Lili left with his son 3 years later. Later, she met Yizu and lived together. Yizu also gave birth to a boy and eventually left him. In 1968, He and Chiyoko lived together and broke up amicably after 4 years. In 1975, he married Enyi Baoju, a high school student, and established the Powerlong Film Company. However, Gulong still went out to have fun, and Enyi Baoju finally couldn't bear it and left. Yu Shilling was the companion who accompanied him through the last journey of his life. Gulong apologized to her before his death. In 1980, Gulong had a conflict with others at the Yin Song Pavilion and was stabbed in the artery of his right hand. During the blood transfusion, the blood seller suffered from hepatitis and he suffered from liver disease. Although he stopped drinking for half a year under the advice of his friends, he resumed drinking heavily after his health improved, and his condition continued to worsen. In April 1985, he saw his father, whom he had not seen for decades, for the last time. On September 21st of the same year, Gulong died in Taipei Hospital at the age of 47. Under the current situation in China, ancient dragons are of great significance. In today's fast-paced society, people face a variety of pressures and challenges. Gulong's works are like a haven, allowing people to immerse themselves in the world of martial arts he created and feel the power of the chivalrous spirit when they are tired. The tenacity and open-mindedness shown by his characters in the face of difficulties and setbacks provide modern readers with a kind of spiritual comfort and inspiration. At the same time, his analysis of human nature also reminds people to maintain respect and understanding of human nature in a complex social environment. Today, Gulong's works still have great significance and value. First of all, he provides us with a spiritual home to escape reality and pursue our dreams. In this fast-paced, high-pressure society, people often feel tired and confused, and Gulong's martial arts world allows us to temporarily forget the troubles of reality and immerse ourselves in a world full of passion, justice, and courage. You must first learn to tolerate its ruthlessness before you can enjoy its tenderness. If you are jealous, you might as well come over and have a glass of wine. Vinegar can relieve hangover, and wine can also relieve jealousy. Fat pigs are always slaughtered first. If people want to live happily, they have to be a little silly and do some silly things. That doesn't mean they are stupid. There are people in this world who can do anything. It doesn't matter whether they are male or female. You can't understand it just because you are not that kind of person. The darkest time of the day is also the time closest to light. The same goes for life. As long as you can get through this difficult and dark time, your life will immediately be filled with light and hope. Although the sword is strong, it cannot cut even a stream of water. Although the breeze is weak, it can calm the most turbulent waves. Girls who like to laugh will not have bad luck. As long as a person loses beautifully, he can walk free and easy. So it doesn't matter if you fail, and it doesn't matter if you leave. For a relationship that has no future, it is most beautiful to stop at the most beautiful moment, but few people know this secret, and the result will only destroy the most beautiful memory. Some people are hard to forget. Sometimes even if you think you have forgotten them, as soon as you see them, their words and smiles will come back to your heart. When people are in the arena, they can't help themselves. They are fighting for every inch of their lives, forgetting life and death. The question is not how many chances there are, but whether you can seize the opportunity. If you can really seize the opportunity, 10% chance is enough. If a person has a deep scheming and a big conspiracy, he will never do anything wrong. There is no shame in finding a friend when you are in trouble. The real shame is that when you are in trouble, you have no friends to turn to. Most people in this world live for others. Some are for the people they love. Some are for the people they hate. Both of these people are equally miserable. There are not many truly happy people in this world. If a person's heart is full of inferiority, he will often become the most proud person. Don't be rude to a beautiful woman, and don't waste good wine. You must keep these two things in mind in the future. No one in the world can stay with another person forever. No matter how long people get together, the final outcome is separation. It's either a farewell or a separation. Not speaking is your greatest strength, but not listening to others may be your fatal injury. It doesn't hurt to do something silly once in a while if it makes someone else laugh. A person's name may be wrong, but his nickname is never wrong. The most difficult thing to understand in the world is the human heart and human nature. The complexity of human nature is far beyond any kind of martial arts in the world. The most beautiful sunset is always near dusk. To achieve the word forgiveness, one must not only have a great heart, but also have courage. Courage is more necessary than revenge. That is far more difficult than revenge. If a person has too many desires, he will grow old quickly. Desire is the greatest pain of human beings. The only thing that shines through the ages is loyalty. When a person is in a crisis, he knows that he still has a friend who can share the joy with him. Nothing in the world can replace that feeling. A ruthless prodigal will never forget, as long as he gets a little bit of true love from others. When people are in the arena, they can't help themselves. Love and hatred are hard to resolve, grudges are hard to end, and life and death are forgotten in the struggle between hearts and minds.
In fact, the most ecstatic thing in life is not separation, but reunion. Poverty is a type of loneliness, and loneliness always follows poverty. Friendship is accumulated, but love is sudden. Friendship must stand the test of time, but love often happens in an instant. Only career success is the best decoration for a man. Life itself is a war, large and small, all kinds of wars. Unfortunately, the greatest tragedy of mankind is that people often think about people and things they shouldn't think about. There are no miracles in the world. If there is, it is also caused by humans. Only someone can create a miracle. Losing your best opponent is equivalent to losing your best friend, and people will become lonely. Ride the fastest horse, climb the highest mountain, eat the spiciest food, drink the strongest wine, play with the sharpest knife, and kill the cruelest people. If he is strong, he will be strong, and the breeze will blow on the mountains. If he is allowed to be horizontal, the bright moon will shine on the river.
My child, when you grow up, beware of women lying to you. The more beautiful a woman is, the more likely she is to lie. 9 out of 10 things in the world are unsatisfactory. Now that this is the case, it is hard to do anything. Flowers fall and flowers bloom and fall, young men grow old, and beautiful girls finally see white hair on their temples. There are so many crazy children in the world who are so deeply in love that they have no regrets. Look at these white clouds gathering and dispersing and gathering again, just like the separation and separation in life. If a man thinks he understands women, he deserves to suffer no matter what. Is the end of the world far away? Not far. People are at the end of the world. How can the end of the world be so far away? When a person asks someone to do something for him, it is best to first ask what he can do for the other person. Things in the world are inevitably vicissitudes of life, and life is inevitably sad. Cherish the process of life, and don't ask where you are going to return. As long as they can live, everyone should live and live well.
Wherever there is life, there are rivers and lakes. Repaying a favor is sometimes much more difficult than taking revenge. When everyone is about to die, they will become kinder than usual. When you have money, loneliness is always easy to get rid of. When you have nothing, you will find that loneliness is like your own shadow, which cannot be whipped away. Women should be like women. Smart women all know that if they want to conquer a man, they must not use force. Only a gentle smile is the best weapon for women. The darkest time of the day is also the time closest to light. The same goes for life. As long as you can get through this difficult and dark time, your life will immediately be filled with light and hope. Although money cannot speak, it is much more useful than anyone else's 800 words. There may be several women in the world who don't eat, but there isn't even one who isn't jealous. As long as a person is alive, he must have received favors from others. Without the kindness of others, you simply cannot survive a day, so everyone owes a debt. The real madmen are not terrible. What is terrible are those who appear to be normal on the outside, but are actually crazy in their hearts.
The louder a woman shouts, the less truthful she. If a man marries a beautiful woman as his wife, it will not be a very pleasant experience. There are many truths in life, and you have to wait until you are out of breath to understand them. Among the heroes of ancient and modern times, how many are not greedy for wine and lust? It's a pity that most of the greedy and lustful people are not heroes. The beauty's old age and the hero's demise are the most helpless sorrows in the world. A lust for sex but no courage, a love of wine but no limit, a love of gambling but no winning. These are the so-called three things. What is luck? It's just a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of caution, a little bit of the habit of paying attention to everything, plus a little bit of techniques. Spreading rumors is an innate human nature. The warning for young people is fighting, and the warning for old people is greed. The older a person gets, the more important he is to money, and he seems to have forgotten that if he dies, he will not be able to take even a penny with him. Men all think that women are weak, and they all think that they can control women's destiny, but they don't know that most men's destiny is in the hands of women. The religion most people believe in the world is not Christianity, Buddhism, or Islam, but the religion of fame and wealth. But many people believe it and are not happy. Beautiful things are often fleeting, and whoever tries to keep them will only end up with pain and misfortune. When a person has no money, he will regard reality as much more important than rules. Only those who are qualified to be your opponents are qualified to be your confidants. Man's greatest enemy is himself. The most terrifying enemy is his friend. No matter how sophisticated the conspiracy, there must be flaws. No matter how majestic the mountains, there must be gaps. The reason why a person can survive may be because there is always tomorrow.